If you're a working mom who's ever had to juggle work while having a sick child, you're going to want to stay and watch this video to the end. I was working in a career that I absolutely loved, but was very time consuming and mentally exhausting. I'm a full-time social worker, and 2 years ago, one of my little boys, I have two little boys, and one got really, really sick. We had tons of hospital admissions, 911 calls, you name it, while doctors try to figure out what exactly was going on inside of his little body. And I have to tell you that for my husband and I, and for our whole family, this was probably the most stressed out time we ever were in our whole lives. And for every moment that I wasn't at work, I was by my child's bedside, being with him, where it's exactly where I wanted to be as his mom, and I wasn't going to leave his side. And, we would have sometimes weeks where he would be admitted to the children's hospital, and that's where his dad and I would be. But I had to endure such grief through my employer at the time because I was missing that time from work to be with my sick child. In a world where you would expect people to be compassionate and understanding, when you're going through a time where you have a sick child, or you have a sick partner, or a sick parent, or you're sick yourself, you want that compassion from others to say, it's okay, we got you, or at least to say we understand. That was not my experience. I had such a hard time for my employer because I was missing work so often to be with my sick child when they knew exactly why I was off work. And what I had to endure when I would return to work would be the cold shoulder from my employer, harsh words. At one point in time, they even tried to take me to HR guys because I was missing so much time from work. It was devastating to me. It was devastating to me as somebody who gave my job my all when I was there, who worked many, many, many hours overtime and never got paid for it just because I wanted to get the work done. And then when I really needed some understanding from my employer at the time, that's what I got. I would go into work like mentally drained and exhausted, not knowing what was happening with my child, wanting to be by his side, but his dad would be there so I could go into work. And no one would even ask me how he was doing or if he was okay. And, that was really devastating to me because for any of you parents who are watching this, your children are your whole life, and all you want to do is ensure their safety. So when you're dealing with a child who's sick and they haven't really figured out yet what's going on, that is the scariest time of your life. We ran into using all of our vacation time and sick time, and any time we had banked up that we could use, we had exhausted all of it. And his dad and I were taking turns being off work unpaid. And, the bills kept rolling in. That didn't change. So when I say that was probably the worst time of our lives, it absolutely was. And I think that's underestimating just how terrible it was. Guys, if I had had something like this during that time, oh my God, I would have been in such a different place. I was looking during that time to see if there was something else that I could do from home so that I didn't have to deal with such a toxic work environment, and I could really focus my time and energy on my child. But I didn't have it. I didn't know this existed. And if I had known, I would have jumped on it so fast. This is an automated sales funnel. It works for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I could have been at the hospital with my child while money was going into my bank account because I would have been able to spend the 2 hours throughout the day to do the work that needed to be done. If I had had this system working for me then, I wouldn't have been forced to go into work because we could no longer afford to be off unpaid. I would have been able to be present for every single moment of my child's illness without having to worry about the financial aspect of it and have to worry about what I was going to face when I did return to work from my employer. So guys, if any of you can relate to what I just talked about, maybe that's your situation right now. then please reach out to me. I would absolutely love to share this blueprint with you that has changed my life and maybe can change yours. Drop a 1 in the comments and I'll get it right over to you.